class. So first I have to apologize about my last video. There's the missing part at the end because that is my first time to edit my video. I promise I will do it better and better over time. Okay, but today I will continue to show you leg and footwork, but it is the fitting strap series. So before we start, let's set up the correct spring. The blueprint is 1.5, but it really depends on how strong you are. If you are super strong, you can put 2 springs. If you are not super strong, you can also use 1 spring or stay on the 1.5. Okay, so now let's roll onto the carriage here, onto the carriage. Okay, so now there's another thing I need to mention, that if you have a super long hair, making sure you tie your hair up before you jump onto any equipment, because if your hair is stuck on, if you get a hair stuck on the equipment, that will be so painful. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to get into the strap safely. Yeah, because safety is my first priority when I teach you. I don't want you to end up getting an injury after the class. Okay, so now first step, grab both loops behind your head. Okay, so now holding your hand, right? So next step, you press the carriage out with your both feet, and then lift up 1 foot and put 1 strap onto the foot. So now keep the tension on this leg, and then lift up the other leg up and put the other loop onto your feet, on the other foot. Yeah. Okay, so now first position I'm going to show you is the little frog position. So now flex through the hips, bend your knees, into this position, like about 90 degrees, let's say. But if you look at the shape of the legs from maybe that side, actually I'm in a V. My feet is in V position. Yeah, so the heels need to be glued together, and the feet should be apart, like into a V position, right? So now inhale to get ready. On the exhale, you press out. So inhale, coming back. On the exhale, you press it out. So inhale, coming back. So on the exhale, you press out, making sure your legs is not pressing up or press down. We should be like pressing to the front, making sure the legs is on the same level. Right? So by doing that, you need to engage your hamstring here to control the movement. And another thing I need to mention, that when you're coming back as much as closer before you lose a neutral spot, not doing that. If you're doing that, you can see that my tailbone lift up a little bit, so that means that I'm losing my neutral spine. Yeah. So now inhale, coming back. On the exhale, press down. Inhale, coming back. On the exhale, you press down. So on the next movement, I'm going to show you circles. So now you press out and lift up your leg to the ceiling. So lift up as high as you can before you lose the neutral spine again, right? So now, on the exhale, press your leg down, and then inhale, circle back up. So on the exhale, press, inhale, circle back up. On exhale, press, inhale, circle back up. So when you open your legs to the side, your leg should have a slight external rotation so that you can open your legs a bit wider. Okay? On exhale, press, inhale, circle back up. Exhale, press, inhale, circle back up. Be careful your neutral spine, so use the deep spinal muscles to stabilize the torso while you are moving your legs. Yeah? So we are looking for the dissociation between your legs and your torso. So now next we're going to do reverse. Right? So now you press down. On the exhale, you press down. Oh, sorry, it's the reverse one, right? So you lift, you open. On the exhale, you press it, circle back up. Inhale, lift. On the exhale, you press down, circle back up. Imagine you are drawing two big Ds here, two big letter D, right? So circle, straight back up, and circle, and straight back up, and circle, straight back up. Okay, so now stay the legs towards the ceiling. I'm going to show you the high openings and the low openings here. So again, lift up your leg as much as you can before you lose your neutral position. So for the high openings, we are looking to lift your legs for 90 degrees. So some people may be able to lift up your leg without losing your neutral spine. Maybe here, which has no problem, depends on how flexible you are. But this is my range. If I lift up a bit higher, say my tailbone lifts up, so that means I'm losing my neutral spine again. Right? Okay, so stay here. Okay, so now inhale, open your legs to the side, and on the exhale, pull your legs back. Inhale, open. On the exhale, pull your leg back. So for this movement, you can put your fingers onto the edge of the reformer, making sure the carriage is not moving for the high opening movement. Okay, so in order to not move the carriage, so making sure like your feet keep pressing into the strap to stabilize the carriage. Yeah. Okay, so open. On the exhale, pull the legs back together, and open. And on exhale, pull the back so close. So now next, and the last. And I'm gonna show the low opening. So now press your leg down a bit lower, but we are aiming to press your legs down to the same level of the full bar. But depends on how flexible you are. If I, press my legs too low, you can see I'm arching my back here, right? So with low openings, and this is my range, so that I can keep my neutral spine. Yeah, maybe you can only lower your legs like this, which is again okay, no problem. That depends on your body, how flexible you are, right? Okay, so for the low openings again, so inhale, open. On the exhale, pull the legs back together. Inhale, open, and pull the legs back together. For the low openings, it's allowed for the carriage to move, right? But not for the high openings. So inhale, open, on exhale, close. So again, when you open your legs, your legs should have a slight external rotation so that you can open your legs a bit wider. On the exhale, use your thigh to pull your legs back together. So when you open and then close, making sure your legs still on the same level. It's not, when you open your legs, try to avoid lift up your leg like this. So make your feet and legs open on the same level so that you can feel the muscle and keep the engagement of the movement. Okay. So inhale, open. On the exhale, pull your legs back together. Inhale, open, pull your legs back together. So now we bend our knees and come back to the start. now let me show you how to get off the strap safely. Okay, so what you can do is, you can just keep the tension on both feet, right? So now you take off one loop from one foot and press that foot onto the foot bar and press it out. And then you take off the other loop from the other foot. Right? And then put both legs back onto the foot bar, and then you bend your knees, bring the carriage back to the stopper, and then you put back the both loops back onto the poles. Yeah, and then you can roll your body to the side and then push yourself up. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.